This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Postgame reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.
Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. Folks, I don't know what to tell you, man. I don't know what to tell you. The Knicks, after playing a good first half, play an abysmal second half. An abysmal second half. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, the third quarter was one of the worst third quarters, and I've seen a lot of bad third quarters with the New York Knicks. It was one of the worst third quarters that I've seen from the Knicks. I don't even know what to tell you. In that third quarter, they let Tim Hardaway get loose. Obviously, Luka was going to get loose at some point. 19 points in the third quarter for Luka. It was bad. It was really bad. 41 points from the Dallas Mavericks in the third quarter. 41 points. Luka, 19. Tim Hardaway Jr., 17 in the third quarter alone. Only 2 other people scored in that third quarter. Spencer Dinwiddie had 2 points. Josh Green had 3 points. That was it. It was all Luka. It was all Tim Hardaway Jr. And the Knicks had no answers for these guys, ladies and gentlemen. No answers at all. In that third quarter, the Knicks turned the ball over 6 times in the third quarter. I mean, that's not horrible. But ladies and gentlemen, they turned it over 19 times for the game. You're not going to win basketball games turning the ball over 19 times. It's not going to happen. Not when you have people who can score like Luka on the opposing team. Just ain't going to happen. Not a good game from the New York Knicks, ladies and gentlemen. And, we talked about last night trying to finish off this homestand by winning 3 games. Well, you can forget about that one. That's it. You forget about that one. Take a quick look at the box score. I don't know how much time I'm going to spend talking about these New York Knicks today. I'm going to be honest with you. Kind of disgusted at the way they played in the second half of this game. They lose the game 121-120. In the first half, ladies and gentlemen, the Knicks were leading by 7, 59-52. They scored 41 points in the second half. 41 points they scored in the second half. And they allow the Dallas Mavericks to score 69. The Dallas Mavericks attempted 61 three-pointers. 61 three-pointers, ladies and gentlemen. And they made 39% of their threes. That's a pretty ridiculous number. Dallas Mavericks, 24 of 61. They came into the game averaging 43-point attempts per game. 40. Actually, it was like 39.8. They took 61 today. Made 24% of them. Made 24 of them. The Knicks, they took 31. They made 10. They only shot 32.3%. Anyways, take a look at this box score. Julius Randle led the Knicks with 24 points, 5 rebounds. He did most of his damage in the first half, 21 points in the first half. Wasn't really hitting in the second half. The ball slowed down for the New York Knicks in the second half. It slowed down to a screeching halt. Screeching halt. It slowed down. And next thing you know, anybody who touched the ball would just, taking a couple of dribbles and pulling, while the Dallas Mavericks were feeling it from the three-point line. And because they were feeling it from the three-point line, all of a sudden guys, they were catching oops at the basket because now the lane was opening up and it got bad. 23 points and 6 rebounds for Emmanuel Quickly. 13 points and 6 rebounds for RJ Barrett. 13 points and 3 assists for Jalen Brunson. And that's the only 4 players who were in double digits, ladies and gentlemen. Mitch Robinson, 2 points and 6 rebounds. Quentin Grimes, 9 points. Derrick Rose, 4 points. Isaiah Hartenstein, 2 points. Obi Toppin, 4 points. Jericho Sims, 2 points. Sims and Svi Mihalik, they really didn't play much until down the stretch when, the game was kind of out of hand. As for the Dallas Mavericks, Luka, 30 points. 30 points for Luka. As a matter of fact, I'm going to scroll this up and get it up on the screen for you. 30 points for Luka, 30 points, 8 rebounds, and 7 assists for Luka. Tim Hardaway Jr., 28 points and 7 rebounds. Spencer Dinwiddie had 17, almost a triple-double for Spencer Dinwiddie. Almost a triple-double for Luka. Almost 2 guys. They almost had 2 guys with a triple-double. 17 points, 9 assists, and 9 rebounds for Spencer. Maxi Kleber had 13 points. Reggie Bullock had 10 points. A tough one to take, ladies and gentlemen, especially on the first night of a back-to-back. And I do not like playing back-to-backs when you take a loss like this. I mean, it's part of the game. There's nothing anyone can do about it. And I'm not complaining about it because we defeated the Detroit Pistons in a big win. And then we had the Milwaukee Bucks on the second night of a back-to-back. And I felt good about it because at that point I was like, well, now they can bring that energy right into the Milwaukee Bucks game. But now, on the second night of a back-to-back, tomorrow they play the Cleveland Cavaliers at 6 o'clock. I'm feeling like you're taking this energy into the Cleveland Cavaliers game. Yeah. And I thought the Knicks were going to get this win tonight, and I thought they were going to beat the Cavs tomorrow. Obviously, they didn't get the win. I don't know how they're going to look versus the Cavs tomorrow now. Not feeling confident, I tell you that. Because now you take this negative energy into the Cleveland Cavaliers game, and you got to try to find a way to muster up something. I know you should be motivated. You know what I mean? You should be motivated to try to pull out that win tomorrow. Listen, the boos the Knicks got today, they deserved it. They got some boos. It was loud. And like Clyde said, normally when there's young kids out there, you don't get those kind of boos. But the Knicks, with the way that they played in that third quarter, they could have not came out in the fourth quarter, and I don't know if anybody would have cared. Because that was one of the worst third quarters I've seen. It was terrible. It was terrible. Again, they allowed 41 points, but it's not the 41 points that they allowed. They only scored 15. It's the way that they played. Right? It's the way that they played. It was just terrible basketball to watch. Turning the ball over. The defense was horrible. Guys getting free. There were a couple of contested threes, but the defense was just horrible. Guys getting loose from all over the place, streaking to the basket. It was, what can you say? It was a terrible, terrible third quarter. And then the fourth quarter started much the same. And the Mavs scored 27 points in the fourth quarter, 28 points in the fourth quarter. The Knicks scored 26. But, it was definitely that third quarter. Give me a call, ladies and gentlemen, 516-362-5212. I want to hear you. I want to hear what you're thinking. I want to hear, I know you got some frustrations. I want to give you a chance to voice those frustrations over the live stream. And people are going to, look at a player to blame. It was the entire team, from the coach to the players. Just wasn't there in that third quarter. The energy wasn't there. Once Dallas got going, where was the pride? There was no pride when Dallas got going. To defend home court, to defend Jalen Brunson. Playing against this old team. Where was the pride? There was none. It wasn't there. That's not a good thing to have on a basketball team. Dig in. You got to dig in. Get a little tougher. You might have to put somebody on the floor. That's how basketball goes sometimes. But you don't let guys can't let a team go crazy like that. You know what I mean? You just can't let it happen, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a look at these numbers behind the game. Rebounding battle. The Knicks out-rebounded 50 to 45. All right, and this is a team, ladies and gentlemen, the Dallas Mavericks, who came into the league averaging under 30 rebounds per game. Come on. They came into the game averaging under 30 rebounds, and they grabbed 50 against the Knicks. 27 assists for the Dallas Mavericks, only 18 for the New York Knicks. And for the most part, the Knicks shot their average on the season. 45% from the field, 32% from the three-point line. That the Knicks came into the game averaging that. But they averaged 24 assists per game. But today, they really got into dribble, pop, dribble, shoot threes. Whatever they decided to do. 7 steals for both teams, only 1 block for the Knicks, 5 for the Dallas Mavericks, 19 turnovers for the Knicks. And the Knicks aren't a team that normally turns the ball over, right? But so far this season, it's been them protecting the ball, taking care of the ball has been kind of up and down. You have one night, they'll go through a few stretches where they're at 12, 13, 12, 13, 11. The next thing you know, you see a stretch where it's 15, 16, 15, 16, 17. Tonight, 19. If they have 19 turnovers tomorrow versus the Cleveland Cavaliers, they might lose by 40. Again, 45% from the field for the Knicks, 43% for the Dallas Mavericks. 32% from the three-point line for the Knicks, 10 for 30 or something like that. 10 for 31, the Knicks were. The Dallas Mavericks, again, 39.3%, but they were 24 for 61. 78% from the free throw line for the Mavs, 71.4 for the New York Knicks. The Knicks, 44 points in the paint, 38 for the Mavericks, 24 second chance points for the Dallas Mavericks, ladies and gentlemen. And for the Knicks, who's supposed to be a good offensive rebounding team, they're supposed to be a good defensive rebounding team. But the Mavs had 14 offensive rebounds, which resulted in 24 points. The Knicks on the other hand, had 7 offensive rebounds, which resulted in 11 second chance points. And Mitchell Robinson, who had 20 rebounds the other night, had 6 today. That's the inconsistency that people get upset about when it comes to Mitch. You don't expect him to have 20, right? Rebounds again. But you do hope that he's going to have 10, 11, 12. He should average 10, 11, 12 rebounds. You know? 15 fast break points for the Knicks, 13 fast break points for the Dallas Mavericks. Yeah, it's good. Let's see if we can get some phone calls here, ladies and gentlemen. I want to hear what you're thinking. All right, 516-362-5212. I may have missed a call or two, so go ahead and give me a call back. If you're still available, we can get you up here so I can hear what you're thinking. Because this is definitely a game where I'm sure there's a lot of people that have some feelings out there. You know what I mean? Kerry Cox, thank you for chiming in. Says, the end of the year, Dolan gets rid of everybody in the front office. Jeff Van Gundy would be the team president, Mark Jackson head coach, and Jerry Stackhouse the assistant coach. I don't know. You know, I guess we'll see what the end of the year looks like for the New York Knicks. Obviously, in a game like this, people have some bad feelings in a game like this. You know what I mean? But we'll see what happens when you get down towards the end of the season, how the Knicks playing then. Obviously, right now, you feel really, really upset about what we saw in the second half of this basketball game. Right? And, things always start to point to the Knicks didn't have somebody out there that could stop the bleeding. There was no way to stop the bleeding in that third quarter. No way to stop the bleeding. You know what I mean? Uncle Fulio brings it up a lot. We all bring it up a lot. No way to stop the bleeding in that third quarter, which, basically saying you don't have a guy that can stop the bleeding. And a lot of times that's what you need, right? You need a guy that can stop the bleeding. The Knicks didn't have that, right? Julius Randle was scoring well in the first half, and they tried to use Julius Randle to stop the bleeding, but didn't work. They started throwing those double teams at Julius Randle, and he started turning the ball over in the second half, in the third quarter. Right? Bobby Santiago, thank you for the super chat. Really appreciate you. He said, do you think it's time for a coaching change? Do you think a trade or something should be explored? Shake up the roster a bit. See, my thing about a trade is, I don't know where you're shaking up the roster to. Unless you're adding a major player, I'm not moving any major chips to add more role players, right? The team has a lot of role players already, so I'm not going to, move some real assets for other role players. You know what I mean? I'd move Evan Fournier. Right? I'd move on from him. But I'm not trying to give up assets. I'm trying to save those assets so that we can use it, at some point in time for a player. You know what I mean? I don't want to get short-sighted, because we took a bad loss or because we're 10-13 right now. You know what I mean? You gotta let things play out. This is a 500 level roster. And I think we've all known that from the beginning of the season. It's a 500 level roster. Okay? There's nothing you're going to do There's not that many small tweaks that you're going to add that's going to elevate the team to be better than a 500 level roster, in my opinion. So, making small, giving up assets for small tweaks doesn't make sense to me. You know what I'm saying? You only give up those assets if you're bringing in something that's going to be a major upgrade, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Let me get to a phone call real quick. Caller, you're live. Tell me your name and where you're from, please.
What's up, Sam? This is Ajay from Brooklyn.
What's going on, man? How you feeling?
Hey, man, we're good. Well, good, but not good.
No. I get what you're saying. Good, but
good.
Yeah.
I just watched.
Yeah, no doubt.
All right, so going into the season, we knew that the team was going to be like a 500 team, right? But what we gambled on is that we thought they were going to put in the effort, okay? Mm-hmm. So the Knicks, like on the talent level, we don't have the talent level or the skills that other NBA teams have. But we counted on the team to put in the effort because they're a Tom Thibodeau team.
Right.
When we're not putting the effort, we're not going to be a 500 team.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? If we keep losing, if we play like this, and we can't, unless we go on a 10-game winning streak, we are not going to be a 500 team. We're headed for a lottery. And if you look at the standings, we're like slipping and sliding. Mm-hmm. I don't know we're probably 11th or 12th right now.
Yeah, probably 11 and 12.
The other teams are getting better, right? Because they're building chemistry, and I mean we're nowhere near that. Okay, that 500 team we thought we were going to be is with a lot of effort. We're not putting a lot of effort.
Well, I mean, the thing is, I don't know, if you heard, I said it a couple of shows ago. I expect this team. I mean, for the most part, they play with effort. But I expect there's going to be some games because in order for this team to be successful, each and every night they step out there on the floor because they don't have that much room for error, right? They don't have, they've got to play hard to win every single night. And there's going to be nights when it's going to get rough like that. I know it is. There's going to be more. There's going to be nights where they play hard. A lot of nights where they play hard, but then there's going to be the occasional, and it really was the second half, right? It was the second half when Dallas really started they got going. There's going to be that because of the style of play that they have and the lack of, the lack of athleticism and talent that's on the team. You know what I mean? Or the ease at which, they don't have guys that's going to score easy. It's always going to come difficult for the Knicks to score. Like, and I'm not saying put up 130 points from everybody. I'm saying individually, each person, they have to work hard to score the basketball. You know what I mean? It's not like a Jason Tatum or a KD. They can score the ball without breaking a sweat. You know what I mean? And it's easy for to get it up. Our guys got to pound and pound and pound. Like, look how many dribbles a lot of times Jalen Brunson has to take to get inside, right? And it's his style of play because of, the lack of speed and the athleticism, that's the style of play that he has to use. So I think there's going to be nights like this for this team.
Right. And, people complain. You could try to it's almost like we're playing whack-a-mole with these players with the defense, right? Evan Fournier is the weak link. Kemba Walker was the weak link. We got rid, they both, neither one of them on the team now, but we still looking for somebody to blame. Mm-hmm. At some point, it's not even the coach because the coach can. Listen. Some nights you got to blame Pitts, right, because of his rotation. But at some point, you got to look at the front office. It's like the chips they gave him to play with. He doesn't have the personnel to do better, And, as a coach, you could motivate your players as much as you want. If they don't have it, they just don't have it. And there's but so much they can do. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to let you answer this, but I'm going to be listening. But like I said, at some point, you got to look at the front office and, what do you do at that point?
No, I hear you. I mean, I don't think the front office's job is done. Obviously, they have more work to do. They've accumulated assets, like draft picks and so on and so forth. We'll see where they move from here. You know what I mean? I think that's what we got to see next. Where do they move from here? They missed out on Donovan Mitchell. However it went out, however it played out, they missed out on Donovan Mitchell. See what happens from here and where they move. Now, listen, they have some draft picks that are going to come to fruition this year, one way or another. You know what I mean? Either they're going to draft players or they are going to move, try to trade those draft picks down the line so that they have them in years to come. We'll see what they do with that. You know what I mean? But definitely, at some point, the front office has got to make a move that pushes the Knicks forward. But we'll see where that goes. I don't know. Appreciate you, man.
All right, I think they missed on that move, man, with Donovan Mitchell. But thanks for taking my call, Sam.
No, appreciate you for
I'm
calling
gonna hang up
in.
and listen to the show.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, bro.
Josh, what's going on, man? Can't hear you, bro. Can't hear you.
Salute, Sam. Salute the MBK fam, the chat out there. Tough loss for us. Just one of those games, like you said, Sam. These games are going to happen throughout the course of the season. It happens to the best of teams. Golden State. It happened to them. The Lakers, stuff like that. But I kind of I like taking this opportunity when everyone's kind of upset and everyone's like, fire everybody or, go to the extreme to kind of reiterate some of the stuff I've been saying for the longest time. And I've been talking about star players and all of that here and there. But it's funny how everyone wants to hear answers from the front office now. In a time of turmoil, you want to hear answers from the front office. But during the offseason, they don't have to talk to us. I like having the interview with Mike Breen and, they don't need to talk to the media. Why? Now you see what I was saying because I figured, hold on, Sam. I figured a time like this was going to come.
What are they gonna say?
Let me finish.
The proof is right there. What are they gonna say?
But the fans want answers, though, right?
What are they gonna
say?
Want
answers. But the fans want answers now.
Who wants to hear anything? I didn't see anybody say anything. Oh, I need to hear from Leon.
Okay, you didn't let me finish. I was going to say on Twitter, on Nick Twitter, and I've seen it in the chat, in previous shows. I want to hear from the front office. The front office needs to talk to the media, needs to talk to us. Now you want to hear that in the offseason.
But you're also talking about probably, 5 times that you've seen a tweet or something like that, right?
No, I'm not. I'm talking about all the fans that are yelling for the front office head. Yeah. The front office needs to be fired. I'm talking about those fans.
But you're talking about needing to be fired and addressing the media, 2 different things.
Oh, okay. Now you want to?
It's not. It's not.
No,
it's not.
No, it's not.
So
not.
because you just switched it. You said you said people want to hear from the front office. Now you're saying people want the front office fired. That's 2 different things.
But why? But why do they want them fired, Sam? Why do they want them fired?
If they don't feel like they're doing a good job, it doesn't matter if they heard from him, if they spoke to the media or not. So speaking to the media and wanting the front office fired are 2 different things. If they want them fired, that's cool. But what are they going to say? Oh, they played bad. They gave up 41 points in the third quarter. Sam, that's what they're going to say?
The fans want answers, Sam. That's what the fans want. Let's not be frank here. The fans want answers, all right? And that's exactly what I was talking about. In the offseason, I knew there would be a time like this. A time like this where everyone's like, oh, the front office needs to be fired. And how come Leon Rose doesn't talk to the media? They did the same thing last year. I told you. Julius Randle. Right. He was playing terrible. Julius Randle runs from the media. He runs from him. Now everybody wants answers from him.
It's real funny how, when the Knicks take a loss, like you said, you opportunistically take a time when people are feeling bad and people are going to agree with what you're saying because of this loss.
But I didn't just do this now. I did this in the offseason when everything's all fine and dandy. The Knicks don't need to talk to the media.
But when the Knicks have a win,
it's not just after a loss.
When the Knicks have a win, you don't say anything.
No, not me, Sam. I'm not that person after a win to be cheering Heidi Ho.
I didn't say you cheer, but you don't say anything.
No, I don't.
You sit back, but then you try to take a loss and then try to pound your point. You should just why don't you wait until it's all said and done?
Oh, so you're still in the wait and see approach. Oh, everything's
well,
gonna be all right,
that's.
guys.
Listen. I'm going to say this. I've watched a lot of basketball. I've watched a lot of basketball. I didn't say everything was going to be fine. So don't put that word in my mouth because I didn't say that.
But you're saying wait.
No. I didn't say no. Hold up. I didn't say everything was going to be fine. I didn't say that.
You said wait and see.
So don't put the words in my mouth. Yes, wait and see doesn't mean everything's going to be fine. Wait and see clearly means wait and see. Because I've watched a lot of basketball. I've watched teams go 5 games, 6 games below 500 and come back. I've watched teams be 7 games above 500 and fall down. I watched this team a couple years ago be 5 games below 500 and make it to 10 games above 500. So yes, I've watched a lot of basketball. So yes, I am in wait and see.
So
because one game does not define a season.
Of course not. I didn't say one game, but this Knicks team has not been one game. How many times have we come on in post-game shows?
How many times?
The way the teams have been playing?
13
it's
times.
Not just one game.
Hold up. 13 times we've come on and been upset about the way they're playing. 10 times we came on and been upset and been happy about the way that they were playing.
Right.
And then there was a point in time where 9 times we came on and we were upset, and 9 times we came on and we were happy. And it could switch around.
That's okay. That's okay to you.
I said the team was about 500. That's what I said they were going to be. As a matter of fact, a lot of us looked at the beginning of the season and said they could be below 500.
And a lot of people said that the Knicks were going to be 5-6 games over 500.
They were. And I'm one of those. I'm one of those people. But I am one of those people because you're asking me about my wait and see philosophy. Hold up. No. I'm one of those people who said the beginning of the season could be rough for this team because of the schedule and because they have a new player in and they've got to try to build some chemistry. I'm one of those people who said that. So yes, I'm still in a wait and see mode. Because I've watched a lot of basketball and played a lot of basketball, and I know how things can change for a basketball team.
Like the people that I were addressing were not you specifically. I was addressing the people who are now up in arms and going all crazy. Those are the people I'm addressing. I don't know why you're getting so defensive about it. I wasn't talking about you.
Because you just said, "Oh, so you're still in a wait and see mode and think things are going to be fine." That's the reason why I'm responding to you. Because you just asked me if I believe things are going to be fine, but I didn't say that. I said wait and see.
You, Sim. That's you.
I know.
I'm addressing. Hold on.
I know who you're addressing.
My point addressing. All right. So why are you getting defensive? If you
because you clearly, I'm getting defensive because you clearly said so. You, Simeon, you said so. You still believe this team is going to be fine, and I'm answering you.
Okay. All right.
Right.
So all right, but my point wasn't. My overarching point wasn't to you. I asked you a simple question. You still do think that? I don't think this team is going to be fine. Neither do a lot of fans out there who are complaining and want to fire everybody.
That's cool.
That's what I'm saying. But and this is not about the Knicks have one bad loss. I'm going directly at all the fans and bringing up their hypocrisy. I've been on this point. I'm not.
No, this is an I told you so. That's what you do. That's what you do. If RJ has a bad game, you say I told you so.
Right.
Right,
has had a bad
but
season.
if RJ turns around over the next 3 weeks and has really, really good games, you won't say anything.
No, I would still say something. You know why? Because a lot of people came at me for not saying he's a star player. He's not a star player. That's been my overarching point. I never said he was whack.
If RJ has 5 30-point games over the next 10 games, you won't say anything.
Yeah, you know what you'll say?
Right?
You'll put him on the graphic and you'll compare him to Jason Tatum.
No, I won't. No, I won't.
That's exactly what you did.
No, I won't.
Year
no, I didn't. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. See, I love the way you take things out of context. You do it all the time. You never ever explain things in context. You do what a lot of people do. You take a stat and try to use it for your good. Right? No. Listen. So, because you want to go back to that. We were talking about a specific game. And so I said, over the last 5 games, RJ has been playing like this. No, listen. Quietly listen. I said, RJ has been playing like this. This is what Jason Tatum has averaged for the season. Yes. And I said, can RJ continue to play like this? See, you got to listen to a discussion. Right? You got to listen to a discussion. I said, can RJ continue to play like this? I specifically spoke about RJ not doing it for the season, but he's done it now. So can he do it against Jason Tatum? But see, that's not. So that, why?
Yes.
Because he had been playing well.
For 5 games.
But what I'm saying is you just sat here. No.
You just stats to manipulate the stats. You just asked the question.
Because you just took my stuff out of context. You didn't put any context around it. You said, oh, and then you'll put up a stat comparing him to Jason Tatum. I would have compared him whether or not he had that because that was the matchup. So what I was saying is, see, that's what I'm saying. You got to use context. Don't just put people's stuff out there without using context.
No, I'm
that's
absolutely
untruthful.
using context. No,
That's
truthful.
untruthful.
Listen, this is exactly what you said, Sam. You put up a stat of RJ over the last 5 games, and he had stats that were similar to Jason Tatum over the course of the season. Right. That's using stats. You
And
manipulate
I
the stats
spoke.
to your advantage.
I spoke behind that
finish.
stat.
Okay.
I didn't use it to my advantage. I didn't
you
use
did.
it to my advantage. I didn't say, see, RJ is as good as Jason Tatum. I didn't say that.
No, I never said you said that. I never said you said that.
Can he continue to play that way? So how is that using it to my advantage?
Because that's a fallacy of an argument. That's a fallacy of an argument.
No,
that's exactly
because
what that is.
No, because what am I arguing? I asked the question. See, that's what you're not. What did I argue?
All right.
Tell me what I argued in that situation. What did I argue?
You by putting the graphic up there and asking the question, as Knicks fans, that the people that watch.
No. What did I argue? What did I argue?
I'm telling you. Let me finish. By putting that graphic up there and asking the question to a group of Knicks fans who seen RJ played over the last 5 games, who already thought RJ was the best player on earth, and that's rhetorical, but they already thought RJ was on this high. By asking that question, you knew exactly what you were doing.
What did I argue? No. What did I argue?
I'm telling you, you were comparing RJ Barrett to Jason Tatum by doing that, or attempting to by putting 5 games out there compared to Jason Tatum throughout the whole season.
No,
that's what you were doing.
See, that's where you're taking and distorting an entire context.
No,
because
I'm not
I was
distorting it.
very objective.
No, you weren't.
No.
We're Knicks fans.
Hold up.
Be objective.
I'm very objective all the time.
Oh my goodness.
All right, I was very objective. I said, this is what he's been averaging. This is what RJ's been averaging. And I asked the question, can he continue to play like this while playing against Jason Tatum? I didn't say he would. I didn't say he was as good. Like, if I was using it for my argument, if I thought RJ was as good as him, I would have said, see what he's doing over this? It proves he's that good. I didn't do that. Okay. I said, can he play like this? That's it. Sam? I didn't argue anything.
All right, so let me throw it back at you. Yuta Watanabe is like one of the best 3-point shooters in the NBA this season by percentage, right? If I put up a stat of his 3-point stats this season and compared them to Steph Curry's stats throughout his whole career, what am I alluding to by putting that graphic up there and asking that question?
When they're playing against listen, without cutting me off, when you have 2 players playing against each other, and they're going to go head to head, and RJ's been playing one way, he's been playing another. I'm not trying to trick anybody into anything. What I'm saying is, RJ's been doing this. Can he do it against Jason Tatum? Can he continue to do it against this Celtics defense? This is what's been happening. Because over the last 5 games, he's been playing at this level. There is no trickery. You got to put context around it.
Didn't you ask the question that not just against Jason Tatum, but can RJ Barrett continue to do this throughout the whole season?
I asked the question.
Right, but you just said the Celtics. And so that's what I'm saying. It's not just about them going head to head.
No, it is. So you can't ask 2 questions. You can't say, can he continue to do it, and can he do it throughout the season? That's what I'm saying. No, it's not. It's not. That's taking something that is happening and asking a question about this young player who was growing and developing. That's what that is. And that is very objective. Because if I was not being objective, I would have said, this is what this man can do. He's going to do it. And here's the proof. All I did is ask the question. Just because you take that as, oh my God, he's trying to trick the people, I think everybody else understood what was going on.
So that was my first point with that. But again, I think where I'm coming from is just, I think, and the reason why I'm using this opportunity to kind of prove my points is because everyone's like, Josh, you're crazy. You're out of your mind. How could you say this, and that? And now everyone's all upset. And my points just keep proving to be right. Literally, day by day, this is happening, Sim. Day by day, this is happening.
I think what people don't like is that you try to, you wait all of this time.
You want to wait and see, right? You want to wait and see what the Knicks are going to do for the rest of the season. So what's wrong with waiting and seeing?
No. I wait and see. I don't make any big overtures. That's what waiting and seeing is. I don't make any overtures about, they're going to burn and they're going to fail and they're going to do this. I'm waiting and seeing what's happening. But what people don't like is if RJ is playing good, you don't say nothing. But you wait until he has a real bad game to come on and say, "Oh, Uncle Fulio's right." Hashtag Uncle Fulio's right. Or if he has a stretch. Right. But how come if he has a good game, how come you don't come on and say, yeah, he had this good game, but I think it's just this game. I don't think he's doing anything.
I've done that before. Everyone's like, Josh is hating.
Yeah.
I've done that right. Yeah.
No. You come on and be like, oh, he has a good game. I hope he continues to play like that.
This is not about RJ Barrett.
It's the I told you so's. That's what I'm talking about. It's the I told you so's.
Right.
I don't want to hear the I told you so's. They don't want to hear that.
Right.
But I told you. I'm right. And you don't know what's going to happen to the end of the season.
Right. But I'm turning out to be right, though, just like I was right last season.
Right. In the moment. But this is the thing. A few games ago, the Knicks were 2 games above 500. I could have came on and said, oh, yeah, Josh, I'm right. When there were 2 games above 500, I could have said that. But I didn't because I didn't know what was going to happen. They could have went on a 10-game losing streak. But I didn't come on and say, I'm right because there were 2 games above 500.
So I get penalized for making a stand and then stating where I stand and not being
No. What I'm saying is, you're saying you're right now because this is an opportunity for you to say you're right. The Knicks could go on a 5-game losing streak, and does that mean you're wrong?
A 5-game losing streak?
I mean, they could go on a 5-game winning streak. Does that mean you're wrong?
No. Not yet.
Not yet.
Said,
exactly.
Not yet.
You
got to wait till the end of the season.
Exactly.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Like so why do you try to take opportunities in the midst of when they're not doing well to say you're right? But then if they go on a winning streak, you won't say anything. Then you'll be in wait and see mode, right?
Listen, if they go on, how many games are on the 500 right now? They're what, 9 and 11,
3.
right? Or 9?
They're 3 games above below 500.
Right. So if they go on a 5-game winning streak, there'll be 2 games over 500. I've consistently stated that being 2 games over 500 or 2 games under 500 throughout the course of the season, at the end of the season, whenever, it's still mediocre. So that's what I'm saying. This is a 500 team.
No, right, everybody has says. What are you talking about? Everybody has says that. But what I'm saying, but you would still be now, just like you said earlier. No, I wouldn't be wrong because I'd have to wait until later on to see what happens.
Yeah.
Right. So don't say you're right now. If the Knicks were 2 games above 500, you would be saying, no, I'm not wrong. So let's wait and see.
They're mediocre.
Hold on. You would be saying, no, I'm not wrong. But right now, because they're 3 games below, you want to state that you're right when you don't know what's going to happen later. That's all I'm saying.
All right, can I highlight this comment real quick? Sim taking a non-position, of course, no one can predict the future. If that's the case, what's the point of making any projections? So what's the point of putting a graphic up with RJ saying, hey, can he do this?
Because I didn't make a projection. So when I put up a graphic and say, can he do this? I didn't make a projection. And when I put up a graphic, I'm putting up a graphic of what has actually happened right now. And I'm not making any overtures. I'm asking a question. I'm asking a question. What could happen? And some people might say, yes, I think he can. No, I don't think he can. And you could debate why he might be able to or might not be able to. But you're just playing.
Those are not projections.
They're debating whether they can or they can't. You're just straight up saying they're not going to be.
Right, I'm standing firm on my position. Well, what's wrong with that? I'm not saying there's anything wrong with projecting. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with projecting. I'm just
you're just coming on and saying they're not going to be.
Right.
They're not going to be whatsoever. Right, and stating that you're right. If you want to say it, cool, but you can't state that you're right until the end of the season.
Okay. Well, but guess what? I've been right the last 2 seasons, right?
Okay, cool.
And guess what?
The last 2 seasons. Listen, state that you're right at the end of the season. That's all I'm saying, and that's all I'm saying to whoever that was in the chat. Right? Okay. Don't come on in the middle of the season when it's opportunistic for you to be right. Right? When it's opportunistic, now you want to come on and laugh and joke and be happy. But then if they go on a winning streak, you'll be like, oh, well, I'm just going to wait and see. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Don't just wait until it's opportunistic for you to come on and brag and boast.
Last thing I'll say about this. Listen, a tough game today, right? Tough game. A lot of people are calling for people to be fired. I personally am not of that mindset. I think we need to give it some more time. The front office specifically, that's just me. I think we need to give it a little bit more time. But I was addressing the people that had those. Well, the Knicks don't need anybody. The Knicks are fine the way they are, and all of this and that. And Josh is just full of it, right, for saying all of that. And now it turns out that I'm right. because the Knicks aren't doing quite as well as you think they're going to do, and this roster looks as mediocre as you think they're going to do. Like, and I'm proven to be right again. Whenever at the end of the season, if the Knicks if the Knicks are 5 games over 500, I'll come out and say that I'm wrong. But right now, I don't think they're going to be that.
That's cool. That's cool.
That's just my opinion.
But see, that's cool. See, this is the thing that I'm saying. You're not right until it's done. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
You're not right. It's trending in your direction. You're not right until it's done. That's all I'm saying.
All right, but like last show, I asked you the question on the phone. I said, do you think at this point, right now, the Knicks offense is better than what it was last season? You said, yeah, they are.
Yeah.
But it's not done. The season's not done yet.
The season, at this point, that's all I'm saying.
Okay, and what I'm saying is, I'm right at this point. I'm right at this point. That's what I'm trying to tell you. At this point.
Right. You're right at this point. I said that.
Yes,
I said that. You're right at this point. But
Thank you.
don't come on and brag until it's done. Am I bragging that the Knicks offense is better than it was last year?
Sam. I'm pointing out hypocrisy. That's what I'm doing. I'm pointing out the simple hypocrisy and the flip-flopping from some of the fan base who criticize me, saying that Josh doesn't know what he's talking about, when the same fans are now up in arms. And the same fans want to hear from the media and want to hear from Leon Rose and company. But in the beginning of the season, you didn't want that because they thought everything was going to be fine and dandy. That was my point all along.
Name those people. I want you to name those people. Name those people.
I can go up and down my Twitter feed. Talk about people that need Leon Rose and company.
I want you to name them.
Media.
I want you to name those people.
But this is the last thing I'll say about this. My point all along was that accountability matters. Listen, you saying the fans hold the team accountable by buying tickets, right? I promise you, tomorrow at the Garden, it'll be sold out.
It will.
The Garden already has the money. So where's the accountability coming from in that? That's why fans want answers. That's what
that's not gonna. Is that gonna? If Leon Rose comes out tomorrow and makes a statement, do you think if he comes out today and makes a statement, right? Do you think the Garden be sold out tomorrow?
Yes, I still do.
If he comes out, it's a little bit late because those tickets are probably sold. If he comes out next week and makes a statement 2 weeks later, do you think the Garden be sold out?
Yep.
Yeah, they will.
All right. So, but here's the other point that you don't understand. So that means you don't ask the questions. That means you just let it happen. Oh, right. That's number one.
What can we? The only thing the fans can do is buy tickets or not buy tickets. They're going to buy tickets.
It's the fans' fault. They buy the tickets.
They're going to buy tickets because they enjoy going to the game.
All right, they enjoy going to the game, watching the team lose.
All right, they enjoy going to the game regardless if they win or lose. People enjoy it because they're fans, they're fanatics. That's what they do. They go to the game. The media can't hold Leon Rose and the Knicks accountable. They have no power to do so. Okay. The fans can. And the fans can make a decision on winning or losing. If they don't like that the team is losing, they can decide not to go. If they don't care, then they go.
But you see, that's a key word you used. You said could, right? I'm just telling you what has happened. What has happened. Right. And that's the reason. The reason. Hold on, let me finish. That's the reason why I have the points that I have. Because I'm not just saying this, based off of me having this unconceived notion or whatever. This has been going on for years, Sam. I have proof. There's proof there. Everyone, you, Tone, everyone, you guys want to be optimistic. I would like to be optimistic as well.
There's proof about what?
There's proof. There's proof that what this team has been doing has not been good, and that based off of that, the past is the only thing we can go by to make our points.
I get that,
right? And that's where I was coming from with that about everything that I say. I'm not just saying stuff like spewing stuff out there and hoping that it's to the wall.
What is the media going to do? Because you keep going back to that every time we have a discussion. Every time the Knicks do bad, every time the Knicks lose, you go back to the media.
Because the fans want to hear from the front office, and they don't want to hear a nice watered down interview between Leon Rose and Mike Breen, Leon Rose and Bill Pito, McNutt, or whoever. They want to hear the media ask the tough questions, not some lollipop layup questions. They don't want to hear that.
Okay, cool.
And that's been my whole point the entire time. Yeah. People now are saying they want the media to do something,
right.
But in the beginning,
well, I don't care. I don't care what the media. I don't care what the media does or not. I don't care if they ask some questions or not. I can see it for myself. Let me get to this phone call. Caller, you're live. Tell me your name and where you're from, please. Hold on 1 second, caller. 1 second.
Conversation.
There you go. Say that again. What's going on, man?
Yeah, my name is Nev Sims. You guys had a pretty good argument.
Oh, we always get into arguments.
Oh, yeah.
We get into arguments when we're not even on the air.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I've listened to you quite a bit. Well, I think you guys missing the point. One thing I would say that Leon Rose has gone wrong is that he supported his friend and he vetoed the fire. That was wrong.
Oh, say that again. Say that again. He supported his friend. And vetoed the fire. He vetoed it
because I'm pretty sure there was a consensus between most everybody that Tom Thibodeau shouldn't be retained, but he decided to keep him because that's his prerogative. He has that.
Well,
he makes the last call. He has said that many times. We decide. We have a collaborative process, and then I get to make the last call. So that's what he did. That was wrong.
Well, I can't. I can't sit and say whether or not, there was a consensus in the front office to fire Tibbs or anything like that. I'm not there. I don't know. I can't say if he vetoed anything, right?
Yeah, that's
speculation.
That's speculation on my part.
Speculation.
That's my speculation. That's what I believe. Okay, but the reason Tom Thibodeau should have gotten fired because he's the only coach in any professional sport that still coaches the Bobby Knight philosophy. He's the only coach.
What?
There's no other coach in professional sports that coaches Bobby Knight philosophy.
What is the Bobby Knight? What is the Bobby Knight philosophy?
Yeah.
What is the Bobby Knight
philosophy?
The
Bobby Knight philosophy is basically you scream on both sides of the offense. You try to control both sides of the ball. So that and we know what happened to Bobby Knight. And that's what Tom Thibodeau is doing. Tom Thibodeau, you cannot tell me on an offensive play. Offensive play are meant to be intuitive, are meant to be creative. You cannot tell me you're actually shouting at your team on the offensive play where to go. That shouldn't be acceptable.
I agree.
There's no way that's acceptable in my book. And everybody can hear this guy trying to coach. What the other team going to do? Is the opponent should let's give the Knicks 5 minutes to decide what play they want to run. Is that what the opponent should do? Are we asking the opponent to give us a few seconds to listen to our coach so we could run a proper play?
I agree with you 100%.
Is that what we call?
I agree with you 100%.
Is that acceptable?
I agree with you. No. I believe that Tom Thibodeau should allow Jalen Brunson to run the offense. That's why you got a guy here. You trust him to do what he can do, and you sit back and strategize some other things. I do believe that. I agree with you 100%.
But that even has a more detrimental effect, Sims. The detriment is that has even a.
Oh.
But as you can see.
Go ahead. Finish up. I'm sorry.
Julius Randolph and Brunson is performing at a high level. Everybody is performing below their level. Everybody. Check our two players that just went to the G League. They're in the G League for 1 day and they can perform. They come up here. If you put McBride in the game, he's not giving us nothing. He's not giving us nothing. Because these players are not used to coaches shouting at them constantly on a constant basis. They did not raise in that kind of environment. The closest player that comes to that is Julius Randolph. All the other players, they did not raise in that kind of environment. They're not accustomed to a guy shouting at them something minutes in the game.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I agree with you. I think that Tom Thibodeau should allow Brunson to run the offense, make the decisions. Now, is he going to bark out instructions? He's going to bark out instructions. I agree. Like Josh just said, Brunson, is one of those guys that's used to that. But I agree with you, right? He should, sit back, let Brunson run the squad out there, make the decisions, You know, and I did hear him today, you know, barking out saying, you know, do this or, you know, cut here or cut that. You know, I would like to see him just. I would like to see him. I would like to see him just let Brunson run it.
One other point I would like to make. This coach needs to show respect to the referee. There shouldn't be. I shouldn't be listening to the game on my phone and hearing this coach curse. The referee's out.
I mean, it's gonna happen. That's his first tech this season. That's gonna happen. Every coach in the NBA gets a tech.
No, Sims. That's the first tech they decided to give to him. I've been hearing this coach all the time. They've been punishing his team for some of his for what he does to the referees, how he castigated the referees.
I don't think that's the reason.
That's why the Knicks don't get calls. When you see they don't get calls, it's because the referees, especially young referees, they're not giving the Knicks any calls because this guy constantly castigates the referees.
I don't know. I don't know if he does.
The referees all the time.
I don't know if he does any worse than any other coach.
I have said that since the season started.
Okay.
You know, that's what was going to happen.
All right. I don't know if he does any worse than any other coach as far as talking to the refs.
No, he does much worse. See how he treats the referees, man. He has absolutely no respect for the referees.
I mean,
and at some point, he's going to get very personal.
I've seen worse. Trust me, I've seen worse. And I'm talking about in the NBA. I've seen worse. But hey, I appreciate your time, man, and thank you for being patient on the call while me and Josh is going back and forth
no problem, man.
You know, old news, over old stuff. Over old stuff. Now, Josh, people, you know, a lot of people, you know, someone asked about the Knicks making a move. Your thoughts on that?
Like I told Tony 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago or whatever it was, if it's something substantial, like huge, a star player that we can get in here to help us close games out, I'm all for it. But if you're talking about bringing in another small move, I just don't think adding it, like you said earlier in the show, I don't think bringing in another mediocre player to a mediocre roster is going to make the Knicks do anything but win a couple more games, tops. So to me, I would rather save those assets for something major. If something major comes along this season, star gets disgruntled, what have you, I would save the assets for that. But if we're talking about doing something minor, I just don't think adding a mediocre minor piece to this team helps us enough to the point where we have to give up assets in return. I just don't think it's worth it.
Yeah, nah, I'm with you. And Greg, man, you know, you got to stop dissing people like that, Greg. Like, what's going on? You know what I'm saying?
See, he's an example, Sim. He's one of the fans that an example that, you know, call me out and all this stuff. You know, I respect you. Thank you for tuning in, Craig. But it's fans like that grind my gears and make me the way I am.
And make you say, I told you so.
Yes.
Say, I told you so, huh? I told you so. Yeah. Caller, you live. Big Bubba, you live. What's up, man?
Well, me, I'm a hater of Josh.
What's going on, man? Have you figured out how to use the phone yet, or what? You good? You there?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I changed the battery, man. I changed the battery on the phone.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. You changed the battery on your fire alarm that's been going on for 5 months.
Sam, I can't believe I'm saying this. This is how you know we're in desperate times. I agree with Josh.
And Isaiah, yeah, there you go.
I agree. I know, right? I agree with Josh in the sense of, you know, it's just no point of doing a trade that's going to be to bring another mediocre player to a mediocre team.
Oh, I agree with Josh on that as well. I agree with that. I'm not making any moves. I'm not giving up assets to make a move unless I'm, you know, making a serious move. Don't make no sense.
Yeah, for me, Sam, I was a big advocate. I thought the team would play above their talent. Clearly, that's probably not going to happen this year. For that to happen, I needed RJ to step up. I needed, Randall's has been pretty good, but everybody else hasn't stepped up. I thought Obi would take a little bit of more of a leap. Quickly would take more of a leap of being more consistent. But, just the team is what it is.
Man, I keep telling y'all about Obi. It's not that that I'm an Obi hater, but people think he's going to be a star. He's not, in my opinion.
Right. Well, Sam. Let's make something very clear. Let's make something very clear. I did not want Obi because I saw the red flags, Obi, but I mean that's here or there. That doesn't matter anymore. Hello, but when it comes to this team, it's just what it is, man. This team is mediocre. This team's gonna be 500 pretty much probably the whole year. We're probably gonna get in the play-in, and then most likely probably either lose. So, for me, I would save our assets for the summer, see where we land in the lottery, and that's the kind of more frustrating thing with me, Sim, is that the worst thing about being mediocre is that, and I'm not gonna talk about it fully now, but it's like when you're too good to get a high draft pick, and you're too bad, to make the playoffs. Again, we're stuck in no man's land, and it's just I don't know when it's going to get better. I will say this too about Thibs and them. I think when a regime gets when a new regime gets in, you get one coaching change. You get one. So if you make a move on Thibs,
you're on the clock.
Decide to fire him.
You're on the clock.
You are literally on the clock before you get canned.
Right.
Because I believe that, again, you get one coaching change per regime before you get fired.
Right.
Because we can't keep bringing in coaches.
Right.
And I think and regardless of what Josh feels, I think Dolan has been extremely patient these last couple of years with the last two regimes. And, he has not been in the way. So, again, there's going to be a point where people are going to be like, whoa, Dolan, listen, if Dolan gets part of this, don't blame him. Blame the people that were supposed to do their job. And, right now it's been a kind of mixed result.
Yeah, yeah. The last regime, had some, I don't want to say a lot, but had some drama to it, with the whole Melo and Phil Jackson thing. And, I think, this one, as far as that kind of stuff,
Porzingis too.
Porzingis, right? Porzingis, as far as that kind of stuff, hasn't been crazy.
It's been
Dolan might just let
this regime.
Dolan might just be like, you know what, I'm gonna let them rock out these 5 years and then look at my results and make a decision from there.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. That's why I say that they're on the clock if they do decide to let Thibs go and they hire a new coach. Listen, you guys are on the clock to when they got here, like 2019?
They got here
this regime
just before the pandemic.
Right before the
right?
pandemic.
Just before.
2019.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's been 2 years. So so if they fire Thibs, they got about 2.5 or 3 more years.
It's been 3 years. There's a calculator on your phone.
Yeah, so
it's been 3 years. They're going out 4 years for next season. That's what I'm saying. I think this whole thing, even with Tom Thibodeau, the whole thing, they probably just they might just let it rot. See what
Well, so they're gonna have to make a change. So they're most likely gonna just fire Thibs, or Thibs might. I'm not gonna say he's gonna resign, but I mean,
I think it would be. I think it would end up being a resignation. I don't think it would be, or at least in the media, it would look like a resignation. You know what I'm saying? That's the way I think it would go.
Sell his contract.
I think it would go something like that. I feel like it or not, if people like it or not, I feel like Thibodeau, I feel like Leon Rose Leon Rose and Thibodeau know each other, long history. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think he's just gonna be like, boom, he's fired. I think it would be a resignation somehow. Like he called him and said, hey, what are we gonna do? You know what I mean? This ain't working. And then it would be, a resignation in that kind of way because of the history.
Sam, I agree with you. I think, and I think Thibs knew this, that Thibs knows New York. Sam, I think there'll be a meeting this summer, if it doesn't go as we planned it to be this summer, that Leon Rose is going to be like, hey, what do you want to do? And I think they're going to both come to a mutual agreement of, well, this isn't working, so we got to do what's best for each of us.
Yeah.
And
the thing is,
they'll do it from there.
Right. The thing is, and I think the front office has to realize this too. It's not all Tibbs. It's not all Tibbs. I mean, they didn't get Donovan Mitchell.
Tim, this team is mediocre.
Right.
Here we go.
What you mean? Here we go.
Here we go.
They didn't get Donovan Mitchell. They should have got Donovan Mitchell.
Listen, I don't
Come
think.
on.
Can I be honest with you?
What? Yeah.
All right, we gotta talk about this.
Let's talk about it.
I don't think Donovan Mitchell would have made this team better right now.
I disagree
I don't.
100%. I disagree 100%. Come on, Isaiah.
I
What
don't.
are you talking about?
Oh,
I
no.
don't.
This team would be
I don't. I'm sorry.
I guarantee this team would be above 500. I believe.
Yes.
If
Yes.
Donovan Mitchell was here right now, this team would be above 500. Come on, man. He's miles better than anybody on our team.
No, Sim. That's
And you can talk about depth, but our depth hasn't done. Our bench is good. I'll say that our bench is good.
Our bench is good.
Right.
It's good.
Thank you, Sim. Thank you, Sim. Thank
But
you. Yes.
our bench is good, but it's up and down, right? You know, our bench averaged 37 points a game. That's good, but it's up and down. You know what I'm saying? Donovan Mitchell was averaging 30 something himself, and you still would have had. Listen, because if you would have made the trade for Donovan Mitchell, there would have been some other veterans, I guarantee you, and probably some young players that would fill out your bench.
So, but let me say this, Sim. I want to.
Come on, man.
Tell me if I'm wrong. And Josh, I want you to be.
Adding Donovan Mitchell would have changed the way this team is right now. They'd be instead of 3 games below, they'd be 3 or 4 games, or I guess it would be 3 or 5 games above 500.
So let me say this.
I believe.
Can I be honest?
Yeah.
You want to know why we wouldn't be good?
Why?
Our defense would still be horrible. It'd probably be worse than what it is right now.
But
And
we
would
would
be mediocre.
But those 3 games that we just lost that we couldn't close, it's a good chance we close those games with Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, and the 12 games that we lost by 6 or less points, there's a good chance we win those with Donovan Mitchell as well.
Yeah.
Not to mention, everyone's clamoring for all these other people on the bench to get playing time because the roster's too deep, apparently. Those guys will get time. A lot of the minutes that people are not getting right now, they would get time on the floor. Jericho Sims and whoever else, right? Yeah. So I don't agree with you, Isaiah, at all.
Yeah, I mean, our defense would probably be the same where it is right now, 27th, 28th in the league, but we'd have someone who can give you a better chance at closing games, and I think we would have closed some of those games.
I'm looking at his numbers. His numbers are great. His numbers are great.
Yeah, I know they are.
He was telling you that in the offseason, Isaiah. About his numbers.
They're great.
About his numbers.
But Sid, to be
and he's
fair,
coming to the Garden tomorrow.
To be fair, he's gonna smoke us. I know.
Right. So, I mean, come on, man.
But let me say this though, and this is the part where I need y'all to understand with me. This is where I say that there's a difference. We can all. I think we can all agree. Me, you, and Josh can agree. What the Cavs had to give up.
We get it.
Versus what we would have had to give up wasn't the same.
Listen,
what do we have to give up?
No, I'm not trying to be funny, but no. But hold on, Josh, hold on, Josh. Here's the thing, right? This is the part where I was pissed off with Danny Ainge. Danny Ainge didn't ask for Evan Mobley. He didn't ask for Darius Garland. He didn't ask for none of those guys.
I know, because we don't have a player like that. He didn't get to touch. He didn't get to touch players like that.
But hold on. I'm saying he didn't ask to give up one of those guys. He didn't ask for the main core of the Cavs. That's the part that got that to me was the crap about him trying to fleece New York was he didn't ask for the main core of any of those guys to trade him to get that. But we would have to give up RJ, to me, who you would want to pair with Donovan Mitchell. Because I believe RJ would be great with a guy like that to take the distractions, a real true all-star, to take the distractions from him would have been a lot better.
Listen,
they wanted that.
Let me say this, though. RJ's not having like this super amount of attention on him this year, right? A lot of his shots are open. He's getting layups at the basket. He's not converting it himself. That's him. That's nobody else. It's not the defense. It's him. He's not converting those things. So I don't think because, what'd you say, another stars, Donovan Mitchell would have made it where, how much more wide open can you get? You can't get no more wide open. than some of his shots have been. So, he's got to fix that upon himself. You know what I mean?
Not to mention, this is so funny to me. You bring a person like Donovan Mitchell in there, you can still be able to make more moves and improve the team. It's not going to be done. That's the point. Right now, you can say to yourself, the Knicks are mediocre. They're going to be mediocre with all these players that they have.
Hold on, but Josh, hold on.
Listen, real quick.
Okay.
RJ, you're so reluctant to trade him, but at the same time, his team is mediocre due to RJ not performing the way you thought he was going to perform. You bring a person like Donovan Mitchell in here, you can still build the team and add it and continue building it up. People are stuck in the now, or right now. This team is, you got to build. That's how you do it.
But Josh, so here's okay, Josh. Here's the problem. Here's where I'm coming from, right? This is almost kind of pointless because it's just Donovan Mitchell is just not on the Knicks. But and this was the whole thing about going during the summer, was that, I'm thinking about the future because yes, I would love to pair a 21-year-old, 22-year-old RJ Barrett with a 26-year-old Donovan Mitchell. I would love to do that. That's to me. That's how you build those kind of teams.
That matters.
But
was 21 years old.
But yes, it do because no. But hold on. But Josh, listen. But hold on. Look at the Cavs though. The Cavs are built to play now and in the future because of their core are literally 25 and younger.
Right. They drafted the right guys.
That's the thing. What I'm saying. And what did they have to give up? They had to give up picks. Okay. They gave up picks. They had 3 or 4 top 3 picks on the team, and they had to give up Lauri Markkanen that wasn't even their original player. That's what they had to give up to get Donovan Mitchell, and from what we see, what Danny Ainge wanted from us. Come on now, that wasn't fair.
Well,
that was not the same trade that he wanted from the Cavs.
I get it.
And I know because it's already over.
Cool. I would have made the move. I would have thrown that. I would have took the protections off that pick. Whatever they had to do, I would have made the move. I said it then, so I'm not doing 20/20 hindsight. I said it then. I was disappointed. I would have made the move and brought Donovan Mitchell in here. Donovan Mitchell, who we see tomorrow, is averaging 28.7 points per game. He's shooting 49% from the field, and he's shooting 43% from the three-point line.
Scary.
Along with 5 assists per game.
Scary.
You know what I mean? So people kept on saying, "Well, we'll get the next one. We'll get the next one." Who's the next one?
See, that's the beauty of the NBA. We never know. And I'm gonna tell you this, son. There ain't no point in doing a game preview. We gonna get smacked tomorrow.
Oh, I'm doing a game preview. We'll see what happens tomorrow.
I know, son. Come on, man.
We'll see what happens. I hate the fact that we took a loss like this and then it's a back-to-back. You don't even get a chance to shake it off. You know what I'm saying? I love it when you win. You know what I mean? A good game, and then you do. You got to go into the next game the next night. But you lose like this, you don't even get a chance to shake it off. But that's what it is. They got to do what they got to do.
Man.
They got to do what they got to do.
Hey, man, Sam, I hate that we're doing this. I hate how we talking already, man. It's December. I mean, but hey, we've been in tougher spots, right?
They've been in tougher spots. We'll see. They're 10-13 at the moment. They still got some tough games to play throughout December. Before they hit in January, it's going to be a little bit softer schedule. They got to stay afloat so they can hit that softer schedule.
But Sam, so here's the part, Sam, that bothers me, right? At least with a 500 team, you pull off some wins that you're not supposed to win. I feel like this season so far, the Knicks haven't done that. Like, of course, we beat up on Detroit. We beat up on those teams. But, man, some of these games, Sam, if you're going to be a 500 team, you got to beat some good teams that people didn't think you would beat. That's how you become a 500 team. And, if you're going to be this, you got to beat some teams. But it's like we're not pulling none of these wins off, man. And to me, we're in these games. But when you have these crappy third quarters again for the umpteenth season, we're having bad third quarters, and then it's like we're just not playing with no hustle and no desire, and then guys are just not showing up. It's tough to win it's tough to win these games, man, because we should have beat the Bucks. We should have beat Memphis. We should have beat the what happened?
You said should have beat the Bucks.
I thought we had a good opportunity to beat the Bucks.
Yeah, that's delusion.
But-
That's what that is. That's exactly what
I don't
is.
think he's
That's
saying
delusion.
going into the game. I think he's talking about in the game at the point in the position they were in.
Yeah, we were in position to win these games, man. But again, it's gonna be rough, and we got a tough one tomorrow. But hey, Sam, you're doing a great job of the show.
See how they respond. Appreciate you, man. Let me see if we got some other people calling in. All right,
yes, sir.
Appreciate your time.
Love you.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, let's see. We got another caller here. Caller, you're live. Tell me your name and where you're from, please. Hello.
Hi.
Yes. What's going on with you, my man? How you feeling?
No, I'm pretty good, man. Thanks for taking the call. I've been trying to call into the show for the last 12 months to voice my concerns over the Knicks. It's interesting that you guys are finally getting into the debate about Tom Thibodeau. I was in the chat here last year, and I remember you, vehemently kind of pointing out that I was wrong on the fact that he plays archaic basketball, and now you guys are seeing exactly, what was, I think it was so glaringly obvious. The guy is playing basketball from the 1970s. Yeah, it's one of those things where you just look at the basketball and you can tell. And the caller that called before, where he mentioned he's always screaming on the sideline, and that's just kind of testimony to somebody that has, I don't want to say no coaching. He has obviously coaching experience, but like his team is simply not following a plan, or there isn't a plan to begin with. One of the things that I've highlighted is that the Knicks have possibly, people say the squad isn't talented, but if you look at the shooters that the Knicks have, a lot of them are averaging over 40% from three. The issue with that is they're not getting shots up. So for me personally, I look at a player like Quentin Grimes. He's definitely one of the pure shooters in the league, in my opinion, right? And you look at people like Klay Thompson in the past, and people like him would have been shunned. It's like, who is this guy? Like, come on, please. Like, he wouldn't be a starting five player. Grimes is a pure shooter. He's not getting shots up. He's out there like a workhorse. You have Jalen Brunson. I mean, RJ Barrett, and I said this years ago, I think he's absolutely useless. I think he is a G League player. You might disagree. I don't think there's one franchise out there that would put money on RJ Barrett. I don't even think he's a good hand to trade. I don't even know what we would get in return for him. But to be quite frank, if you want to compare offenses, look at the Utah Jazz in terms of Hardy and the offense that they're playing. Are you willing to tell me, or is there anybody that's going to debate that they have a more talented squad than the Knicks? No, the offense and the way that the offense is run over there makes them a formidable, opponent. And that's what I'm saying. Basketball has gone to the point where it's all predicated on shooters. The Knicks have very good shooters. They have good penetrators. For some reason, we're just playing this archaic basketball. Tibbs should have gone last season. I don't even know why he's still here.
But do we have good shooters this season? So, last season,
in my opinion,
at the end of last season, you had guys who had good shooting percentages, right? But Quentin Grimes is shooting 29% so far this season. I mean, that's
because I think it's all geared up. It's all based on the quality of shots that he's getting up. If you look at the offense, he's not getting good shots, right? He's not getting quality shots. That's because the offense isn't run around a player like him. The offense is run around RJ Barrett, who is, throughout his career, a 20% three-point shooter.
I mean, I think RJ Barrett shooting 28.1% from three. I think Quentin Grimes does get some clean looks. I mean, first of all, the season is kind of just starting for him, right? He was injured for a little while. You're hoping that he gets his legs under him, sooner than later. I guess he feels like maybe they're coming back, but he hasn't started the season shooting the ball well. But I feel like his shots have been pretty much open with Quentin Grimes so far this season.
I don't think he's been getting quality shots, but I mean that's even debatable because the offense is something that everybody debates, right? The quality of the Knicks offense is absolute garbage. If you're looking at your highlight reel right now, he does knock down shots when he gets good quality shots. He's a pure shooter. There's no debating that he's a quality shooter, right? And I think the issue that the Knicks have is the offense and it is the coach. And people, Knicks fans refuse to accept it. They refuse to accept that Tibbs is garbage, and that's the problem. Like most successful franchises, when they have identified the problem in terms of the team itself, you can't just keep recycling players. it usually comes down to coaching. Like in football, for example, like, one of the most successful clubs, Chelsea, they've identified, like, you get a new manager and new ideas, and you continue to succeed with that sort of philosophy. The Knicks won't believe that, like, every year we're just going to get the next best player every year. It's been like, 30 years now. The Knicks have been absolute garbage.
So let me ask you this. With a different coach, this exact team, where do you think this exact team is with a different coach as far as record-wise right now?
I'll lay it down. I think, I think personally, if you bring in a new coach with more modern ideas in terms of the offense itself, I think the Knicks would be at least over 500. I've seen a lot of games where, like you said, we didn't close them out, and I think with a better offense and better shot selection, the Knicks could have won those games. But those are all hypotheticals. But the one thing that is consistent is that the offense isn't consistent. Right, so when is that going to change? It's not going to change. A coach like him, he's stubborn. He's never going to change his ways. So if we're sitting there hoping that these players are going to get better, or we're going to get better players in, I mean, it's just lunacy, because it's not going to happen. So the caller said that he doesn't think Donovan Mitchell would have made that much of a difference. I think he's a quality player, but I don't think he would have made a difference to this team. I don't think we would have been in a better position, because the offense is horrendous. So you could say he's a great ISO player, but Brunson does the same thing that he does. Maybe he's a little bit more efficient. But if you look at the Cavs offense, they get better quality shots than the Knicks as well. So of course he's going to be shooting over 40%, right? So I think the issue is the common denominator here is the actual coach. And until we accept that we need to get rid of him, nothing's going to change. The front office and all of that management nonsense people are, keep perpetuating. It's all blurred. It's not going to change anything. The issue is the team and the coaching. You get a better quality coach in, and the Knicks will be better off. Okay. Those players, in my opinion, are talented. I think there's talented players there.
You there?
You're telling me, like, if you look at, for example, that Mitchell, I'm telling you, let's, for example, a Golden State, and I know this is probably far-fetched, but they would die for a player like him right now. Like his offensive rebounding, his shot blocking. They don't have a player like that right now. Like, their expectation was that Wiseman was going to be that good in terms of bringing something to the team. Yes, more offensively. But they get their hands on a player like him or a player like Grimes. I mean, they would be they are a formidable offense right now. But I think we have talented players. The problem is the coach, and we just need to start looking at more modern coaches. Where we have this idea of like, the Knicks need to play tough defense. We've always been this great defensive team. No, basketball has evolved. Come on, people. Seriously.
Okay. All right. I hear you. I appreciate your time, and I appreciate your call.
No problem, man. Have a good one.
Have a good one. I don't know how much better the team would be with a different coach. I still feel like, I don't know if we have the talent that he thinks we have.
Offensive. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we have the talent that he thinks that we have on the team. Quentin Grimes is okay. I never thought he was going to be a star or anything like that. I'm still like, people say he's the best defensive player on the team. I still wonder, is he the best defensive player on the team? You know what I'm saying? There's still a lot to see with Quentin Grimes. We have some talented players, but I don't know if we have any talent everyone in the league is going to be talented. I don't know if we have any talent I think we have 500 talent. That's what I believe. Let's put it like that.
Sam, I just looked at all the Knicks offensive numbers, and I know at the beginning of the season, the Knicks were playing good basketball offensively from a production standpoint. But I always thought that during the course of the season, this would not hold up based on, like I told you last season, the offseason, based on who Tibbs is and how Tibbs runs his teams, right? And almost immediately I looked at the stats. Points per game is now down at the bottom half of the NBA. Field goal percentage is bottom half of the NBA. 3-point percentage is now bottom half of the NBA. The only thing that's really good about the Knicks offense is their pace. And that's kind of in the middle, right? And then you have the assist. But other than that, the offense is trending downwardly very, very quickly and very rapidly. So I'm not sure if this offense is going to be able to hold itself up. The other thing that I want to point out is Isaiah, when he was on the call, he mentioned the fact that, Dolan needs to step in and all of that stuff. With the Rangers,
you said points per game is towards the bottom half of the NBA?
It's in the bottom half of the NBA.
They're 11th.
Not point. What did I say? Points per game. No, I look at the one. Sorry. Hold on, let me see. Is it offensive rating? Was that what I was looking at?
Points right now is 11th. Let me see. Offensive rating is
12. Offensive rating is 12.
Offensive rating is 12.
But what I'm saying is trending downward. The field goal percentage is, or 3-point percentage is dead last in the NBA right now.
The field goal percentage and 3-point, obviously the 3-point percentage is horrible.
Right.
Right. Yeah,
right. But those, yep.
Yeah, 3-point percentage is dead last in the NBA, not almost last.
Yes.
It's dead last, 31.9.
Right. So I think that's kind of where the call is coming from as far as the the quality looks. I mean, that's a stat that you can kind of use it.
Right. But my question is about that. Is it the quality of looks that they're getting, or is it them not making it? Because I don't, it's not like they're just pulling up threes with guys in their face all the time. They get some open threes.
Right. They have to knock those shots down. But I think that stat goes to a bigger issue. And when we watch the games, you see like the Knicks taking some shots that are just not good looks. The offense is kind of stagnant. Like that's kind of what you see a lot with the Knicks, and this has been that way the past couple of years. In the beginning of this season, they've done much better with that. The production definitely is there. You see people moving without the ball. However, I just think it's kind of trending downward. It's not where it was to start the season, and that's kind of always been my fear about that, about the Knicks offense. Can Thibodeau be able to sustain, or Tibbs and Knicks be able to sustain that level of offense for the rest of the season? And because it's trending downward, I just don't know if they can.
Yeah,
right?
And I think just I think a big part of it, in my opinion, is the shooting. You know what I mean? Like we talk about the assists, they average 24 assists per game, but they were shooting the ball 47% from the field, 35% from the three the first, 10 games or something, from the season, somewhere around there, right? So those assists, to me, correlates right to the shooting. You know what I mean? And if they start to hit their shots again, obviously those assist numbers will go up and their points per game will go up back up to maybe, I think, at the beginning of the season it was around 119. Now they're at 114 points per game. They got to hit shots. They got to hit
effective,
shots.
Effective field goal percentage was a stat I was talking about. Effective field goal percentage is like 27th or whatever. Field goal percentage, 3-point percentage, like even though they're scoring a lot of points, they're getting a lot of shots up, which I like. I just don't feel like they're to the quality that they should be, right? But I do want to address earlier Isaiah's point. He said something about Dolan stepping in or whatever the case may be. If you look at the Rangers they hired a new president of basketball operations, new GM, new coach, whatever. And it took Dolan 2 years. They had number 1 pick, and then they had another high draft pick or whatever the case may be. They didn't start the season so great. Dolan fired them after 2 seasons, literally 2 seasons to the day. So I don't know what James Dolan's going to kind of fall in on this, if he's really going to, step in and actually make a move this time. Right now, we just don't know. But I wouldn't be surprised if he does, based on what he's done with the Rangers and their similar situation that they had.
But he don't want. There's a lot more attention and flack that comes with anything that happens with the Knicks. And I think he just don't want to deal with it.
Right.
That's what I think. He's just like, I'm gonna let them deal with it. When their tenure is, this is just what I think. When their tenure is up, I'll make a decision on what I'm gonna do. Then I'm gonna let the next guy deal with it. You know what I mean? Because for a while, he was catching crazy heat from anything that was happening. So he decided, I'm stepping out. I'm gonna hire someone that I feel like they can do it. But we'll see what happens from there. Hey, you, Matan, thank you for the super chat. Then I'm gonna get to a phone call. He said, "You still want Tibbs and Leon to stay? That's laughable." Listen, I want whatever's gonna be good for the Knicks. And I have no allegiances to nobody in that organization. You know what I'm saying? So if they make a move and it works, then that's what it is. I'm just telling you what I believe. I don't think nothing's gonna happen right now. You know what I mean? Especially from the way that I've seen this regime move, from the way that I, with what we know, the way James Dolan has been trying to operate with the Knicks. You know what I mean? My allegiance is I want the Knicks to win basketball. It don't matter to me if they get Josh up there. If he helps us win, then, we win. And I'm happy about it.
Just don't send me to the free throw line.
Caller, you're live. Tell me your name and where you're from, please.
Yo, what up, Sim? It's Ron from Twitter, bro.
Yo, what's going on, man? How you feeling?
Nah, man. What's up, Josh? Chilling. I didn't even know that the Knicks even had the game this early. I knew we played tonight. I thought we played tonight, but I didn't even know we had the game this early. So that's. I'm a diehard Knicks fan. I'm talking about watching the games when Sasha Vujacic was starting. But you could tell where I'm at as a fan if I didn't even know that we were playing a matinee game. I was running around doing my Saturday stuff. I'm a landlord, so I was taking care of the house. But, man, listen, I've been watching the show, paying attention to some of the conversations. I never thought I'd say it, man. I'm on Folio's side for the most part. In terms of mostly everything he said. I don't really care about the media side of the things, though. I don't need to speak to the media. I don't need the Knicks to speak to me. I don't care about anything like that. But everything else he said in terms of the fan base, kind of giving the Knicks a pass by selling out every game. That's why this trash is being displayed. Like, this is nasty, Sim. It's nasty. I want everybody gone. RJ, I'm a stand by. Get out. This is just disgusting. Just I don't even know what to say, Sim. Like, oh man. And remember a few years ago when we had that magical COVID year and I called in and I told you, I said, Sim, get rid of Tibbs. He's not the one. I knew then Tibbs is just, I knew when they hired him, he was going to bring accountability. He was going to be stern with the players, and he was going to make us halfway decent on defense. We had the magical year, but then I knew that eventually players would just not listen to him anymore. They just won't listen to him. You tune him out after a while, screaming left and right, not holding everybody accountable. Randall got the nerve the other day to try to yell at Quickly for a blown assignment when all Randall do is blow assignment. It's just all bad. I don't know who I want to hire. I don't know. I'm just in disarray, Sim. Josh, I'm in disarray. I have no.
So I tell you this.
I have no answers.
I tell you this. In my opinion, if Tom Thibodeau is fired, it's not going to be Johnny Bryant, because I feel like maybe he would be there in the interim, right? But
right,
I would feel like they would say we're going to move everybody. Right? And
honestly, I'm a big fan of Johnny, but I think you're right. They got to move everybody. I think you're right.
Yeah, they would move everybody and start fresh with the staff. Why would you? I mean, he might be if they let him go this year. Why would you? He's been with Tom Thibodeau for 3 years now, or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Unless they just don't get along, which I don't know if that's the case. Right, there would be there would be some leftover remnants. I think they would say we're gonna start fresh, bring in a coach, let them hire whoever they're gonna hire or something like that. You would think. So I don't even think it would be Johnny Bryant.
Here's the thing with Johnny. If I was to defend him and say why I think he would be there, I just think maybe he has a better relationships with the players, and he learned under Snyder. Yeah,
right.
He's under Tibbs. Yeah, he's under Tibbs, but they only put him under Tibbs because I think he wouldn't leave if he didn't get that associate's tag. There's some report I read like that a few years ago that he would not leave if he didn't get that associate's tag.
Okay.
So I think he learned under Snyder. I think he would run a better offense, more free flowing ball movement. Look at Utah. Look how Utah still the caller a few callers ago with the accent. Look how Utah. Look what Utah's running at. And the only thing
but that's not Queens. That's not Snyder though. That's not Snyder.
No. But did they clear house completely? Nobody left from Snyder's there.
I mean,
he's the only one that got fired was Snyder, or part ways or whatever.
Yeah, I as far as assistant coaches, I don't know. I don't know what's up. They got the same assistant coaches.
Yeah, because I know Snyder's not there. I know they're parted ways. But I know they brought in a Boston Celtics assistant, but I didn't know if they got rid of. Yes, I didn't know if they got rid of all the leftovers from Quinn Snyder.
I don't know.
But okay, cool. Let's say if he's not there, the point that I'm making is they're not supremely talented. Yeah, Laurie Markkinen, Clarkson, a few players, but the offense that they run, because like the caller said, like defense, whatever, man. Getting buckets is what basketball is about. And to Josh's point, man, sometimes you just watch the offense. It's hard on the eyes. It's hard on the eyes. A lot of dribbling. And then you're also right, Tim. They're just missing shots. They're just missing shots wide open. So why are they missing the shots? They're not good shooters. Is it that they're standing around a little bit? They're not great catch and shoot guys. Like, what's going on? Like, how haven't we figured this out yet? Players are not getting better. I talk about this with my brother all the time. The players, they just still look the same. They don't seem to me that they're getting better. You look at OKC, you look at the Raptors, you look at Miami, the player development for some reason. They develop guys. Every other day, I think the Raptors have the best player development. Every other day you see a guy coming from the Raptors and you're like, who is this dude? Who? Like, I'm looking at the players on the Knicks and it's like Obi got better at shooting, but we don't utilize him properly. This guy, they're trying to use him like Steve Novak when he's supposed to be picking and rolling and playing by the rim with the occasional three ball. It's just, I'm in disarray, Sim. I'm in disarray. I don't know what to say. I don't know.
I don't know.
It's bad, but I will say this. I'm going to end it like this, though. I believe we need to get rid of these players as much as we can, all of them, in terms of Randall, Fournier, Rose, and just let the young guys go. Whether if they do well and they somehow sneak us into a play-in, that's a bonus. But we need a nosedive in the tank, man. We need a nosedive. Like, I'm just get rid of everybody and just let the chips fall where they may. We're in the middle of nowhere. To what Isaiah say, man, we're not good enough to compete, and we're not bad enough to get a top 3, top 5. So. Oh man, Sam, I'm gonna let you go on that.
And do you trust? Because a few years ago, maybe 4 years ago, we had the best record in the league, or with the worst record in the league, worst record in the league, and we still dropped to number 3, drafted RJ. I mean, we've had top 8 picks, we've had top 10 picks.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like we've had the picks that you would hope could get you players.
Not all the time, though. Not all the time. We got unlucky falling from the Zion and at least Ja Morant. Turns out Ja Morant was the best player in that draft. But we got unlucky there. I didn't like RJ coming out, man, but I'm an optimist. So I just, he grew on me. But I didn't like RJ coming out. It was either Zion or Ja. So we got unlucky there. But you're right, man. I don't know if I trust the staff to draft, man.
I mean, this staff drafted
over Donovan Mitchell.
Well, this staff didn't do that though. This staff didn't do that.
Before.
That was
Obi.
Steve
Obi
Mills
is the only one you can argue. Obi is the only one you can argue.
Obi over Halliburton.
Over Halliburton. They took Obi over Halliburton. They've done well in the late rounds, but they've only had one pick in the high draft so far.
Okay, so
right.
Obi over Halliburton, and we haven't had high enough picks to pick elite players. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we had one and traded.
So maybe. Who was it? Sorry.
Number 11 from last year.
We had 11. We had 11 last year. We traded the pick.
Who could we got in that 11 though? I mean, top 5 is what I'm talking about. Top 3, top 5, when you can't miss. Who was that 11 that was there that we wanted or we could have taken for real? Duren? I'm not even talking.
No, but call it that goes to your point. You saying that you don't trust his front office to be able to pick whoever, but that goes to your point. The Knicks didn't really have the spot to do that, right? If you look back at 2015,
I'm really asking. Who was there?
All right. No one I think that you can definitively say right now that's going to be a star. But if you look back when we drafted Porzingis, Devin Booker went 11, right? Donovan Mitchell went 15. You know what I mean? So I don't just want to dismiss the number 11 pick like that. There's ways you can be able to find it. It's all about luck. It's all about luck. It's all about luck at the end of the day.
It is, but I hear you though, Josh. But when people say that, oh, such and such went 30. Oh, Draymond Green went second round. Really? Like it's not very often. Like you're gonna find Devin Booker at 11, Draymond in the second, and Donovan at 15. You need top 3, top 5, top 7, top 10 at the most. Like I hear you when you say that, but it's very rare. You're gonna find these players, these franchise changes that late. You need top 3, top 5, top 7. So I think right now to end my call, I just think we need to sell, tank, nosedive, and just see what we can do, man. See what we can do in the draft pick. This is because we need a guy, Sim. We need a guy. RJ, man, to Josh's point, RJ, he's right. RJ may not be that guy that I thought. I never thought he was going to be elite of the elite. But geez, I thought he'd be better than he is now. But we need a guy.
Yeah, I don't know.
Say it again.
Nah.
I said not me. Not me. I didn't think he was going to be better than that.
All right, man.
Oh, my God. You know what? Before I end it, Josh, man, it seems like you're happy in the demise of the Knicks. Like, I know you're happy that you're right. You're right and all of that, and you can beat on your chest and say, I said it. Relax, bro. Like, it seems like you're genuinely happy that the Knicks are horrendous. Like, I know everybody likes to be right, but come on, bro.
I'm genuinely happy because all the stuff I took for saying the points that I had and being called an RJ hater and a Knick hater, not being a real Knick fan, I should go root for the Brooklyn Nets. I'm genuinely happy that I get to rub it back in the face of those fans who called me out and tried to challenge my intelligence. That's why. I love the Knicks. I've always been a Knicks fan.
You a smart brother, bro. You a smart brother. You've always been highly intellectual.
So they say.
Like,
so they
how
say.
did that leak?
So they say. So they say.
Bro, this dude is excited, Sim. He's excited at the demise of the team. Like, come on, bro. Like, I understand. I get it. And listen, I'm not completely out on RJ. I'm just as of right now, it just seems he's not the 22, 23 point scorer that I thought he was going to be. Efficiency, I don't really care about efficiency. You can go back and look at D Wade and other shooting guards back in the day, man. It's about making winning plays. I feel like efficient people try to like use that. That's that new hot topic. Oh, he has to be efficient. That don't mean nothing, man. Just make winning plays for me. Just winning plays, make plays that matters. And he hasn't been doing it, man. I don't know what happened to his defense. I don't know if he got too big and strong. This guy doesn't look athletic anymore. He can't slide his feet. Oh my God, he looked like a 6'7" Randall out there. Oh my! Don't even get me started on Randall, Sim. You know how I feel about that.
I know how you feel about
I'm gonna
him.
let you guys go.
All right.
Enjoy,
Appreciate you, man.
I'm gonna stay. I'm gonna tune in.
No doubt. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
Thank you.
All right, brother. All right.
Chick George said, "Is the fan base patient enough to allow a player to develop?"
No.
You know, that's a tough question, man, because as soon as we see a player has a little bit of something, we expect the next season he's going to be a star.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And I mean, let me look. Right now, a lot of people on RJ. I would say 2 years ago, 5% of the fan base, you know, wasn't high on RJ. Everybody, oh, yeah, he's this, that, and the third, right? Now, RJ is one of the scapegoats.
You said it last season. Didn't you say it last year?
4 years. 4 years. This is his fourth year. Now he's one of the scapegoats.
You said it last season.
You know what I'm saying?
Called it.
Gotta let the guy grow. See what he does. He's still only 22 years old. You know what I'm saying? Now he's one of the scapegoats. And I know he's played bad. There's no doubt about it. He hasn't played well offensively or defensively. He is starting to come around a little bit. See if he can continue to come around. I don't know if we got the patience, man. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna start throwing tomatoes. We're gonna start throwing tomatoes at the guys. I don't know. We're gonna see. Tomorrow, Donovan Mitchell comes to the Garden. That's gonna be interesting. You know, I'm sure he's gonna get a good reception from the fans. You know what I mean? He didn't do anything. He didn't do anything wrong. You know what I mean? He'll probably get a good reception. We'll see if he's going to go off in the Garden. He's going to feel good. He's going to feel comfortable. He may give more of a reception. You know, the fans may be happier with him than the Knicks right now. You know what I'm saying? He might feel like he's playing at home. So we will see. Yeah. We'll see how this is going to go. Fun show. Enjoyable show. You know what I mean? Enjoyable show. And Greg, I do want to say to Greg, he said, you know, when I told him chill out, you know, coming at you, he said, you know, he uses your words against you all the time. That's the art of debate, Greg. That's what we're doing. You know, that's part of the show is debating. So that's what we do. There's no ill will intent or no ill intent. I said ill will because Nas, I didn't mean it. No ill intent.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
All right.
But before I know you're about to sign off, Sam, but before we sign off, I just want to make one more, I want to say half controversial point. So I'm not kind of sold on this point. I don't have one way or another. But being that we played Dallas today, I feel like it's appropriate to bring this up. We talk about 2 years ago or 3 years ago, everyone was like, the Knicks went to the 4th seed. We won the Porzingis trade. At that time, I was always under the mindset of saying it's too early to tell. Way too early, because the Knicks, this offseason coming up, they still have the Mavs first-round pick or whatever, and they still have to draft that person, and we have to see how that plays out. At the time, I didn't think it was definitive to say that we won that trade, and still to this day, I still think that we still have to wait and see. I know Porzingis was traded away from the Mavericks, some big contract traded away from the Mavericks, but they got Spencer Dinwiddie in that trade, right? The Knicks were unable to get a star still, because that was one of the main reasons why we traded Porzingis along with all the other stuff. So all the fans that thought that, we won the Porzingis trade, not quite. We still have to wait and see. Let's see if the Knicks are able to draft that guy in this draft, and then we can be able to tell down the road.
Yeah. They still have 2 picks left, right? Or is it just one?
One, the 2023 first-round pick. We got 2021 and 2023. Okay. First-round picks.
Okay. That pick should come to fruition this year. However, it does whether the Knicks, the Knicks may not even draft a player. They may move it along to something else. Who knows what's going to happen there? Who knows? But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to get up out of here because I got basketball practice at 6 o'clock. So I need to grab something to eat so I can get on to basketball practice. We got 3 games next week. Play Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We'll be doing light practices in between. So this is an important practice to get some things in before we get into a heavy schedule next week. So I got to make sure I'm there on time, early, preferably, so I can open up the gym and let some people get in the shoot. Any last words, Josh?
Nah, Sam, always a fun debate. Hopefully the Knicks come back tomorrow and,
hopefully,
win, or at least put up a better effort than they did tonight. But
hopefully,
we'll see.
We need to get us a win. Messing around.
One last thing.
Yeah.
Stafford got into a really bad accident, so I just want to give my love and support to him. I spoke to him earlier. He seems in good spirits or whatever. Yeah, he seems in good spirits. He got into a bad accident earlier. So, Stafford, if you're watching, you got my love, bro.
But Stafford, no doubt about it. We all send you our love. Is he injured or anything? I have to reach out to him.
Yeah, it's a car accident.
Okay.
Car accident he got into.
All right. Well, Stafford, we're all thinking about you, my man. And, we here. We got you. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate y'all. We're out.
This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place to tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.